what types of omega-6 to omega-3 ratios are correlated with or are suggestive of an inflammatory state, and what types of omega-6 to omega-3 ratios are actually considered more ideal and less inflammatory?
Yeah, and that's perfect because this stuff's measurable as well, just like you said. So you can now get this measured either via a blood test, and your doctor can refer you to a laboratory that will run the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio tests for you. You can also do it at home, which is what my community does in our rheumatoid arthritis space. We order a home test kit, which is pretty inexpensive. I think it's like $100 or something like that in the US. And you can then do a little blood prick test at home, squeeze a tiny blood drop onto a little sample card, put it into a return envelope and send it off. And within a week, you get your results back from the dried blood sample. And so from that, you can measure this number. And because this number is almost an indicator of it's not a direct relationship to C-reactive protein, which is more of a conventional, medical test for inflammation, but it's certainly a contributor, and so it's a very useful tool, very useful test you can do, and a number to keep an eye on. They believe that sort of through evolutionary years that our intake of fatty acids was more of a 6-3 of around 1-1. So that's the evolutionary number. 100 years ago, it was estimated that it was 4-1. And today, estimates are that the average person living in a developed country is eating anywhere from 20 to 50 to 1, 6-3 ratio, which correlates to 20 to 50 to 1 in their composition. Because if there ever was a situation where you are what you eat is applicable, this is the time when it matters, or it is most accurate. So I have seen so far the most out of balanced person that I have seen within our community was 79 to 1. This person was taking biologic treatments for their disease, and also highly inflamed, despite the most expensive advanced treatment for rheumatoid arthritis was still very much out of whack. And so this is only a recent observation. So I haven't, after she's been now taking interventions with her diet and following a similar program to the Mastering Diabetes program that we put forward for people with rheumatoid arthritis. We look forward to measuring her fatty acid ratio in due course and seeing whether or not influencing that alongside of all the other benefits like the microbiome, oxidative stress, and everything that comes with a better diet, we can get her back into a remission state. But the inflammatory part of a omega-6 to 3 ratio of the membranes is a crucial part of the overall strategy. And so with inflammatory conditions like rheumatoid, the science shows that 3-1 is a place where we should be trying to target. And I think that if we're all aiming for 3-1, then you're just going to see less disease. You're going to have people with less problems, better health, just less chronic disease. You see that the ratio, and a heightened 6-3 ratio, is associated with cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes, of course, obesity, rheumatoid arthritis, and so on. The list goes on. There isn't actually a disease that isn't impacted by a high omega-6 to 3 ratio. So it's a fundamental responsibility that we have if we're interested in our health.